haere mai te manuhiri tuarangi e, ki runga te marae o Ngāti Kuia te hora e. Te kua he atu ki te poe, o te tau, o te marama, o te wiki, o te rānei e. Maori a mai, whakatau mai rā.
Raurau mai ki roto anō tō tātou whare tupuna e tūnei. Kia neke atu tātou i ngā neke hanga o te rā. Kei tā roro tātou ki tēnei kāinga a tātou. Nō reira tēnā koutou.
Tuhi ki te rangi, tuhi ki te whenua, tuhi ki te tangata katoa, ko te mea nui, ko te aroha ti hei a Maori ora. Ara, e ngā mate, mō mai. Haere mate, haere. Haere ki te kāinga tuturu, haere atu rā. Nō reira, rauranga tira mā, no mai haere mai I raro o te korowai o te rangamari ea.
Ina mana, ina reo, ina karangatanga maha, tēnā koutou katoa. We've just heard all about loyalty and about those that are here and being here. And really what that's all about is whakapapa. And so we all know about the importance of whakapapa.
Ki o ki e he toia te waka. Ki rungu I te maunga tū mai nei. Whakatakotori ai te ngaro para koa.
A series of roadshows in whānau raised questions to examine our health, our social-economic well-being as Ngāti Kuia. We were asked to consider why in this day and age are our people still struggling to live. Nothing has changed and something has to be done. The question was one that cannot be ignored. This was an honest and passionate ask from our whānau. The seed to investigate was sown. As an iwi, we need a considered response. There are no quick fixes. This meant, for us as an iwi, that we must examine this carefully and critically.
So the approach that we took was one based in pūrākau, and it was really important for us that the whānau pūrākau guided everything that we did from that point. So these were the themes that emerged out of the whānau pūrākau naturally, and I was just responsible for kind of weaving these together in the report. So as you'll notice, there are a few key themes, and we ended up splitting the report kind of into two key areas. So the first was on a range of hauora experiences and perspectives, and these were around a range of factors. And then the second part, we thought it was really important to focus in a bit more specifically on the health system itself, and the experiences there and how we thought that these could be improved through kaupapa Māori approaches. So the first part of the report, you've got the factors around lifestyle, socio-economic factors, connection and identity was a really important one, hauora hinengaro or the mind, hauora tinana and tangata whaikaha. And so then we have the health system in the second part and the kaupapa Māori services and approaches. So there was some focus on what we would think of as health and wellbeing in the more limited Western sense, the mental and the physical health. And then there were the wider hauora influences that we know are very important. So like the lifestyle factors of kai and nutrition, socio-economic such as housing and employment were really huge themes. And of course connection and identity to culture was a really important theme that came out for our whānau. And so I'd just like to take the opportunity, I'll leave the detail of the report for you guys to have a read through, but I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank all the whānau that shared their very personal pūrākau with us for the benefit of this report and for the benefit of the iwi as a whole. It was an honour and a privilege to be able to weave these together, and I hope that I've done them justice for you. So, kia ora.
Tēnei te puna taurori I hūra nā te whare aua e nuku I herea ke reira te hi te tapu te mana. Te ihi kai runga whanatu au ki te pū ki te wānanga ki te tau I rā. Ka tū te tohi kura ko te akinga o te mea nui ka tatu kai runga i ahau tenei te nini, tenei te nāna, tenei a te hanga o te tupua. Awhiti i aha painga. Ko rangi nui e tū, nei ko papatu anuku e takoto, nei ko tātou nā iwi e pai nei. Kua tau mai tātou ki te whakarewa hea tēnei rautaki, He Maunga Pakohe. Taingi aho tūturu awhiti whakamaua kia tīna. Hui e, tai ki e.
I want to congratulate Ngāti Kuia for not just nationwide groundbreaking research, but actually changing the narrative internationally by ensuring that you do have the words and the wisdom of whānau, by whānau, for whānau, about whānau, with whānau. So that determination of yours, that the wisdom of stories, of pūrākau around connection, identity and belonging, around hauora hinanaro, around tinana, tangata waikaha, and also that systematic dismantling, that systematic decolonisation to enable all of the institutions of the state to appreciate what it is to enjoy the fullness of health and well-being.
I whakarewa hea e tātou tō tātou waka i tēnei ata. Kia tae ai ki ngā wai whene tu arangaranga. I tēnei wā tonu ko hoki mai tātou ki ngā wai marino. Ki ngā wai rangi Māori e nei, me ki nā wai o hene pipi. Tērā ngā wai ka kaukau hea te tangata kia whakaora ai. Nō reira, tēnei mihi karere atu ai ki runga i a kōtau. Aku nui aku rahi. Ngāti Kuia e tū tātou. E tū tātou kia whakatutuki ai, kia whakatīnanahia, whakapua wai tēnei o nā rautaki. E horahia nei ki mua i a kōtau, ia tātou i tēnei rā. Nō reira nā rungi i tērā, a kai te tuku nei nā mihi, mai te tehi pātu ki te tehi pātu, mai te pautu arongo ki te pau tāhu o te whare nei. Tēnei a mihi karere atu nei, ki runga ki a kōtau. Tēnā kōtau, a tēnā kōtau, a tēnā kōtau. Mānawa hoki rā te pūtanga o te ariki, mānawa hoki rā te pūtanga o te tauira, he tauira. He wāhanga nuku, he wāhanga rangi, he whakaurora ki te kahununui, ki te kahuroroa ki a rangi nui e tū nei. Titi ana mai ko te tehi aroa manu, ko te rua, ko te matapihi o te whare o tū, ka tū tāwa ka pai. Tūre atu rā, taha uta, tūre atu rā, taha tai. Hei muana, hei muri ana i te ahi tau whaopuni. Haere i runga, haere i raro, nā ku, nā toi, nā papa. Tēnā e rangi tūrea, tēnā e rangi. Ka putaka i waho ki te taotahi nā Māui mua, Māui roto, Māui take i a taranga. He toi kupu, he toi ora. He manawa tina, he manawa toko, he manawa kaukau ora, kauru ora. Whānau, haramai te toki, haumi e. Hui e, tai ki e. Kuia e.
What's been going on here this morning is we've launched our health strategy. Something like 4 years that it's taken us to get to this stage. Well, that it gives us a direction to follow when we're thinking about the health aspirations of our whānau, of our hapu and our iwi. Okay, so we launched the strategy, or te rautaki, and then we handed it over. It was a very symbolic handover of the researchers to the present generation and the future generation. So that gave it impetus for all the years that we've been compiling it, and that it doesn't just sit there on the shelf. So while we gave it to the future, that they might forward it for everyone, the iwi, the hapu and the whānau. Very important that Reno Tirikatani was here today. He's followed us on our quite a few of our journeys that Ngāti Kuia have been on, and he pledged his allegiance to us a long time ago, but also his ongoing support for whatever aspirations we come up with and might want to achieve for the people. Now we've got to go through all the information that we've compiled and I suppose find out what the important messages are within that and move forward with how we want to achieve those messages that the people have given us. It's not messages that we've come up with, it's what our people have told us, what they feel we need as a iwi.
They released a book about like hauora and a bunch of the history that we've and all that my nanny was involved with, and I was offered a bit of a task to work in the kitchen today, so I took that. I thought like the whole like book thing was kind of cool, but I did read a little bit of it and it was really interesting, and I'm glad that it's all put into like one place for people to be able to read and all that information and knowledge. I think it has the potential to like teach and for other people to gain a lot from learning about this, and they gain your perspective on a bunch of like hauora and the iwi and family. So yeah, new perspective for some people.
Kia ora, ko Rino Tiri Kātene ahau. I'm Rino Tiri Kātene. I'm the Member of Parliament for Te Tai Tonga, largest electorate in the country, and proud to also be here in Te Hora with Ngāti Kuia, part of the wonderful Te Tai Tonga electorate. So yeah, it's great to be here to tautoko the release of this report and also the whānau here. Oh, it's vitally important, and I'm looking forward to really digesting the report in full and also reporting back to my colleagues and ministerial colleagues. I think it's really important that we have these grassroots evidence-based research which can really help inform and chart the way forward in terms of how we can remove those health inequities and deliver more effectively health services for our people. It's come at a perfect time. We are, as a government, undertaking the largest health reforms of our health system in 30 years. And at the core of those reforms is the creation of a Māori Health Authority, an independent autonomous Māori Health Authority, which will be in charge with not only assisting and agreeing on all the plans at a high national level, but also be commissioning services through our Māori health providers throughout the country as well. But also there's a strong local basis that will be driving a lot of the delivery of our health services, and that's where the reports such as Maunga Pakohe will be very important to in how we deliver on that to the people.
Getting help from from your iwi or that kind of thing. Yeah, it's only going to be beneficial.
Well, very pleased to be invited to come here to an iwi initiative to record stories about hauora from this Ngāti Kuia's perspective on that. Somehow really important that we in Nelson Marlborough Health are connected into and acknowledge, and I hope pick up and use this kind of work. Very impressed by the fact that it's so well grounded it's got a support from Pūtahitanga and for the Health Research Council. Impressive, that they've gone to that effort to do it. And I guess in this particular time, really important that mainstream health services are responding to what iwi are saying. Well, I think we're in an era in health services where a more holistic view about what health is coming to the fore, so that a perspective that looks at housing, employment, the health of the rivers, the health of the land, and the connection of that to people's individual or personal health is really important. and who are leading the way in Aotearoa, New Zealand at the moment. It's iwi, and here we are in the top of the south in Te Tauihu, the home of the of Nelson Marlborough Health. That they should be doing this kind of work. Really nice for it to be the tables turned, and it's us coming on invitation to hear from them, not us coming to them and asking, seeking something from them. It's the other way around, and all strength to their arm for doing that. Well, we've one of our roles is what we call population health needs assessment. We hope always to be based in what local communities are saying in terms of what's important to them, for them in terms of health and health services. We need to be listening and incorporating that into our planning, what we do. Not an external top-down kind of take always on things, but a bottom-up thing, and this is coming from local people in the top of the south. It's great.
We were very lucky to have two internationally renowned Maori researchers come and work with us in our early stages. So having their technical expertise and their mātauranga knowledge combined meant that we got off to a good start. As I understand it, pūrākau is growing as a methodology internationally and being recognised as a way to do research. And that itself is interesting, right? That we have to kind of be pushing to have something recognised as a valid research methodology. I might digress slightly. Because of this pushback against a Maori kaupapa, a Maori-led methodology, we felt we had to then be able to present a work and a body of thought that technically fitted with the current system and the current way that things worked. That's why it took us 4 years. The question for me is, should we have had to do that? Should we have had to push so hard to kind of try and bridge these worlds, or should we just have been able to say, right, here's our wonderful set of stories, our pūrākau, and just have that taken as something that would be valid, something that was going to be driving change?